If you've been paying any attention to the tech world this year, there's one story that has been absolutely impossible to ignore. The constant, and I mean constant, wave of layoffs. And look, this isn't just another headline. We're talking about a massive shift that's reshaping the entire industry, from the biggest players right down to the tiniest startups. So let's unpack what's really going on here.
Okay, so just how big are we talking? Well, the numbers are frankly staggering. So far this year, over 90,000 tech employees have been laid off. Let that sink in, 90,000. This isn't some small course correction, it's a huge industry-wide event. To give you some perspective, that's more people than the entire workforce of a company like Adobe, all that go in just a few months. It's huge.
And what's really wild is that these cuts haven't been some slow, steady trickle. Nope. Instead, we're seeing these insane peaks. You had February and July both seeing over 16,000 jobs cut. But then April was an absolute earthquake with more than 24,500 layoffs. This up and down chaos really shows you just how reactive and, honestly, how turbulent the market has been this year.
So, this all leads to the big question, right? What is driving all of this? Well, a massive piece of this puzzle, maybe the most complicated one, is the rise of artificial intelligence. Is AI the villain here, taking jobs, or is it creating new ones? The answer, as you're about to see, is, well, it's kind of both.
Yeah, we're seeing this real paradox when it comes to AI's impact. On one side, you've got companies like Paycom and Just Eat using AI to get more efficient, automating tasks and cutting roles that are just not needed anymore. But then, on the other side, you have giants like Google and Salesforce laying people off in one department just so they can free up cash to hire like crazy for these new, super specialized AI roles. It's a painful but really strategic reshuffling of the deck, where we're seeing support and design jobs being traded for AI engineering talent.
And this quote right here from Atlassian's co-founder Scott Farquhar, it just perfectly captures the thinking inside boardrooms all over the tech world. This isn't just about saving a few bucks. It's this deep-seated belief that the entire industry is at a major turning point. This call to embrace an AI revolution, that's what's driving these massive and often really difficult strategic moves.
But, as powerful as AI is, it is not the whole story, not by a long shot. There are other, more classic business pressures at work here too. Everything from internal reshuffling to the cold, hard realities of the market itself. A lot of these layoffs, they come down to good old-fashioned corporate restructuring. So when a company like Amazon buys another one, say the podcast network Wondery, a reorganization is almost always going to follow to cut down on overlapping roles. Same thing when Indeed and Glassdoor merged. They combined forces and bam, that created redundancies leading to big cuts. And then you have companies like Peloton who are making these painful cuts now as a course correction after that crazy growth they saw during the pandemic.
And beyond what's happening inside the company walls, you've got these major outside forces hitting hard. The slowdown in the electric vehicle market, that's forced companies like Rivian and GM to pull back. The solar industry is facing its own downturn, which led to layoffs at SolarEdge. The key thing to see here is that a lot of these decisions aren't just about chasing the next big thing like AI. They're about surviving the economic realities of right now.
And if there's one thing that's become crystal clear this year, it's that absolutely no one is safe. This isn't a problem that's just hitting one corner of the tech world. No, these cuts are happening everywhere, affecting the absolute titans of the industry and the newest startups on the block. Everyone is feeling it.
I mean, just look at this list. These are some of the biggest, most profitable companies on the entire planet. Intel, over 21,000 employees impacted. Microsoft, 9,000. Meta, Amazon, Google, they're all making serious cuts. This just goes to show you that even with billions of dollars in the bank, these giants are feeling immense pressure, a lot of it from Wall Street, to stay lean, get efficient, and signal that they're ready for whatever's coming next.
But for startups, the story is often much, much grimmer. For a giant company, a layoff is a trim, a strategic pivot. For a startup like Zine, Beam, or Pandion, a layoff isn't just a reduction in force, it's the end of the line. The whole company just shuts down. It's a really sobering reminder that for the smaller players out there, the stakes aren't just about profit, they're about flat-out survival.
So after looking at all the data, the reasons, the companies, what does this all mean for the future? At the end of the day, it brings us right back to the people who are at the very heart of this entire story.
A quote from TechCrunch, one of the sources for this explainer, really just hits the nail on the head. This is a story about people.
Every single number represents a person, a family, a career that's been turned upside down. It's a powerful reminder of the human impact, and it really forces us all to think about the real-world cost of all this progress and innovation.
And that leaves us with one final and I think crucial question. As the tech industry completely reshapes itself around AI, new market realities, and constant restructuring, the very definition of a valuable skill is changing right before our eyes. So what does it even mean to be future-proof in this new world? What are the skills that will matter most tomorrow? The answer to that is going to define the next generation of tech. Thanks for tuning in.